Good morning. We do not have much setup time this morning, so I liked this setup. So we're going to do this one again. I'm not sure where my blocks all went. I think I know, but I'm gonna have to set that up on something else because I want to use a second block. There we go. That's better. Oh, hang on. I've got to remember where to go on Instagram. I thought it was just to my... There it is. I am here. We will do yoga in just a sec. Sorry. Alrighty, guys. So, yoga this morning. We are, I'm going to start sending notice out the night before. Sorry about that. This has been kind of a crazy morning already. Up and going and wet hair, but it's okay because it's yoga, right? So, as we practice this morning, remember, okay, that the most important thing is that we're moving our bodies, okay? We're loving on our bodies. We're giving them an extra little dose of love. And so as we practice this morning, find that. Love for the parts that are working, but even love for the parts that aren't, okay? So, with that said, I'm going to actually face you this way for a lot of our stuff so that you can see. And then we're going to do some more wall stuff. I had 4 or 5 comments about how much they loved the stuff we did on the wall. Because, sometimes we don't all have blocks and straps and balls, but we always have walls. That's so poetic, isn't it? All righty. So there's one quote that I wanted to share with you. We've moved on to the throat chakra, okay? So this throat, this has everything to do with our power, our personal will power. What we choose to do, what we say, our truth, how we talk about that, okay? And so as we practice this morning, we're going to do some stuff that will open our throat. We did a little bit of this last week where we did our back bends here, but we kind of opened our heart. So one of the things with the chakras is they're really all connected. You really can't just work on one, but we're just focusing on that. But really this throat is between the heart and how we feel and the mind and how we think. And so there's this give and take going on. And I mean, if we're just working the throat, you notice we can't, okay? We have to move back. We have to open through our heart. And then at the same time, we have to feel, what our thoughts are. And so as we practice this, that's kind of what we're working on. This is a quote again from Carolyn Meese. And I love this because this idea of our will to choose, our will to decide is kind of what this chakra is all about. It's called the Vishuddha chakra, and the Vishuddha really means especially pure, not just pure, but especially pure. So this is from Carolyn Meese. Every choice we make, every thought and feeling we have is an act of power that has biological, environmental, social, personal, I try to combine those, and global consequences. You're what? And we are everywhere our thoughts are. Thus, we have responsibility that includes our energetic contributions to the world. Today, the 20th, a lot of prophecies of doom, of weird things going on. Money will no longer be good, all those kind of things. We live in a crazy world right now, okay? But we still live within our bodies. And we live within our truth. And there are things that we all know that this is a truth. So we're going to tie to those, and this is all about speaking our truth. Doesn't mean you have to be out on social media, right? But it means, like, when I speak kindness to someone else, that kindness reverberates. And if we all could speak a little kinder to everyone we're with, that reverberates out. And this is where we want to come from, okay? So we're going to do some exercises that open our throat. Go ahead and take a moment and sit. I'll lose my slippers. Come to the edge of your chair, okay? Instead of leaning, this is kind of from the yoga class I took this morning, instead of leaning forward, which is a great thing to do, go ahead and sit up, but then pull back with your shoulders, just trying to come to the most easeful place, okay? The place that creates the most ease in your practice. Inhaling and exhaling. Letting that breath wash over. Go ahead and let it lift the shoulders as you inhale. And as you exhale, let them drop. How many times do we keep them up to do stuff? Let them drop. Really moving with your breath. And we're going to do a little bit of a lion's breath. Now, the kids absolutely thrive on lion's breath because it can be very loud. We're not going to do it loud. We're going to do it almost as a sigh. You're home, in your homes alone. If you want to go loud, my daughter told me that my grandson was in his closet. It is a great tool to have when we feel all this tension building up in our necks, in our shoulders, in our heads, okay? To let go. But to let go without needing to punch someone, right? So it's a great tool for kids to learn to control and manage their anger, their frustration. It's a great tool for us as well, okay? I mean, I know I love to beat on Blair. I'm teasing. But yeah, he says I don't make it soft. I don't know. Inhale deeply. The tongue comes out. The mouth opens wide. And there is a, you hope you can hear that. Inhale. Inhale, go as wide as you can. 5 more, inhale. Maybe at first your inhale was short and your exhale was and quick. See if you can make it long. Go ahead and pull the ears up by the shoulders. Exhale. Pull them down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. With your eyes possibly closed, maybe they're just looking down. Sit and just try to take your breath back to normal. Notice your throat. Okay, when we exhale that way, we're using the muscles of the back of the throat, and we can feel that they're warm. It's a great way to break up phlegm in your throat. I am not a hucker. I mentioned this last week. It's like Mulan in the movie where she hucks and it dribbles down her chin. Blair's been, he tries to show me, you have to do this and you have to do this. And I'm like, I can't do that. This is a great way. Notice that you even feel, you're actually feeling deeper into your lungs, because when we inhale, that slow exhale like we do with the lion's breath, right? When there is a, when we have that exhale, there is more room for the next inhale. And so it goes deeper. We get deeper up into the sinuses. Okay, so it's not just for here, but it is a great way. So let's kind of make maybe a pledge to ourselves, a commitment that I want to only say the truth. Maybe that means literally biting your tongue. Maybe there's a times where the truth is not okay to express. I can think of things that women do to men all the time. I've heard. I never ask, do I look good in this? I'm like, oh, that's just like setting yourself up for, sure, you look great. And you know you don't. Yeah, you know. So anyway, let's find our truth and speak our truth. Go ahead and let your shoulders pull yourself back just a little bit. You're not rounding in the spine, but you're just moving the weight back into the sit bones. Continuing to breathe. Letting the breath be long and slow. So the thing that's so cool about lion's breath is it can be practiced anywhere. And the way we just practiced it is very quiet. Imagine letting go with a yell as you're doing that. I tried this the other day playing pickleball. I got so frustrated. I kept hitting it into the net that I was just like, and I let it all out. And my teammate and my partners across the way were like, okay, but let go. So much tension up here. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to do things poorly. We're going to have others do the same thing. We have the option. We have the choice. What energy do I want to send out? Socially, politically, familially, okay, physically, mentally. Go ahead and reach your chin up. We've done this before. Stretch through the neck. Jut your jaw. Get as much. Go ahead and pull your shoulders away from this. Make this area, the neck, as big as you can. Reach the jaw, reach the muscle, and then feel as if you've got this racquetball right here, and come up and over, lifting the chest, pulling down with the chin, stretching out the back of the neck. Go ahead and here, would you let your eyebrows lift, and inside your eyes are closed. You can look for a moment, but try to lift your eyes up even though the eyes are closed. And then as you breathe, take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, you start at the pelvic floor, pull up from the pelvic floor, pull the belly back towards the spine. And you're going to feel a little indent, like the air pulls in and sucks in. And then release it all. These are locks. This is the Julandhara, or the throat lock, okay? I'm going to do it without the ball. It's easier to sometimes access it with the ball. I want you to pay attention. Let me move a little closer. Pay attention to what's happening to my throat here, okay? Inhale deeply. Exhale. Pull up from the pelvic floor, from the belly. release, and take a deep inhale. So let's practice that about 5 times, okay? Inhale. Exhale quickly. Pull the pelvic floor, the low belly, the neck. Drop the chin, lift the chest. Release. Inhaling it. You'll start to feel heat build up, okay? 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, pull in, pull in, pull in. When you're ready to release, release it, and then take an inhale. Now, if you don't release it and you just take a breath, this is what'll happen. You'll be up here. There's nothing. You've locked off the ability to use your lungs, okay? So inhale, exhale, pull up with the pelvic floor, find the belly pulling back towards the spine, find the throat. Lift the chest, drop the chin. When you're ready and need to release, release it. Take an inhale, last one. Inhale. Exhale. Pull up the pelvic floor, the belly, the neck. Lift the chest, drop the chin. Release. And breathe. It's a great tool, okay? It adds to the warmth of the neck muscles, but also down through the spine, okay? Energetic. So this is different than the inhale and the lion's breath. Everything going out. This is everything hugging in, okay? So now let's try 3. We hug everything in, we hold, and when we're ready, we let go of the lock. You have to kind of let go, and then lion's breath on the exhale. The breath on the lion's breath, the exhale will be shorter, okay? Let's give it a try. Inhale. Exhale. Pelvic floor, belly, neck. Let it go. 2 more. Inhale. Let everything go. Pelvic floor, belly pulls back, neck. Let it go. Yeah, last one. Inhale. Exhale. Pelvic floor, belly. Release. So letting that, using those core muscles, using our breath. There's so many different tools we can use there. Let's go ahead and start with our feet. Excuse me. So just giving you some options. I would practice a breathing exercise every day. I was next to somebody in a yoga class earlier this morning, and I could tell they were trying really hard to breathe, but it was labored. So it was more like a, as they forced themselves into position, and then it was like, try to then release, okay? So when we practice our breath, the more we and try to keep that calm, and then we practice these other funky things, we come back, the calm and the inhale and the exhale are easier because we've used the muscles of our diaphragm, the muscles in our lungs, okay, our core abdominal stuff. We've used those, okay? We're still finding in our feet. Find out those places that might be a little tight. We're going to use the whole body today. We will do some back bends again on the chair against the wall. We'll move the chair out a little bit more. You don't have to. I'll give you those options. Go ahead and change feet. Just engaging the feet. If you don't do this on a regular basis, I've been kind of amazed because I've done it a little bit more in the last few months, and I have found that those tight places, they're just not as painful. So that's a good thing. So you might find that, you might not, okay? Sometimes we limit ourselves by the fact that we think it's got to be done just this way, right? Oh, this is the options I have. It's just this way. Not so, okay? There are all sorts of ideas. We have to be willing. Last week we talked about that self-study, right? That study of yourself. We have to be willing to come say, do I do that? When someone even criticizes us, that's one of the hardest things, isn't it? Okay, go ahead and let's move the ball off to the side. We're just gonna come as high as you can on your toes. Remember, we're keeping ourselves at a right angle with these knees. That means the foot isn't back here. It's out right underneath. So the shin is underneath the knees as well. Okay, you're just reaching as far forward. Now this is like we're putting on a stiletto high heel. And I know that some of you men, you do this all the time. Okay, and then go ahead and just pull down. Now I'm really pushing with my heels, trying to push down. Then I'm gonna try and slide forward, but I don't want it to really slide forward. You're gonna feel your whole body. You'll feel strength. You'll feel up across the knees. You'll feel your thighs engage, okay? And then release. Now, if you're on carpet and you're barefooted, you probably will slide some. Just slide, but don't let it just go. Use the muscles, okay? Go ahead and come back up. I'm pushing my heel forward, trying to get as much stretch through the top of the foot and the ankle there. And then push it down, pull it forward. You can let it come some, but don't let it totally go. We're using our muscles. It's an isotonic contraction, right? It's just holding and then release. 2 more. Come up on the toes, reach those. Now don't let your ankles do this. That's a sickled foot. We don't want that. That's gonna stretch here and not strengthen here. So make sure you're kind of hugging this inner ankle together as you push those heels forward. That alone sends work up your calves, okay? Plant those heels, push, try to go down and forward. Find the quads engaged. Even the hamstrings are working here a little bit, but most of it's quads. And then last one, come all the way up, top. The heel pushes forward, not out to the side, but right forward, not knee knocking, right? We're keeping those knees and thighs, using those intrinsic muscles. And then go ahead and pull down, push into the mat, move it forward. It's not really moving, but you can feel those legs. And then release. So I had the thought after talking to someone that does this class of warming up the legs a little bit before we start doing our hip circles and some of our open stuff, okay? So one of the things, like this we were holding and this we were holding, but we are moving in and out of poses, and we will do that a lot. Try to move in and out with your breath, okay? Good stuff. Go ahead and take your feet wide. Toes point out, knees are straight over the toes. So some of you could probably do this and get the toes where they're the knees going this way and the toes going that way. That's too much of a turnout. Just go straight over. We don't need that right now. Come to the very edge of your chair. Hands are on your thighs. You're going to push your thighs away, but at the same time, you're pushing their thighs back in. So it's kind of a give and take going on. In fact, go ahead and just wiggle here for a minute. And then pause, push into the hand, push back with the hands, pull the shoulders back, and then wiggle. Push into hands, push hands back into their legs back into push hands into legs, put legs back into hands. There you go. And then wiggle, wiggle. Yeah. Here you go. Hands pushing both directions, lengthening up. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Last one. Push, pull, reach, stretch, open through that heart. Yeah, and then release. So you'll notice that you also worked your shoulders and your arms there. Yeah, I'm trying. Okay, take this foot out to the side, try to keep it straight forward. Okay, this side, and we're against a wall, and if you want to go against a wall, it's a great tool. Okay, it'll stretch really well the outside of the calf if you'll put your foot right against the outside of the foot against the wall. It also actually slightly turns the leg in because the heel is narrower than the ball of the foot for most of us. Okay, you're going to come out here. You're actually going to move this one down. Now, I'm not putting a ton of weight here. I'm just moving. It's this, you might feel it here. So you're just going to come in and down and out, out and in, out and in, out and in, out and in. Yeah, and then release. Put this foot out. Okay, here we go. Out and in. Notice this knee isn't moving. Out and in. I'm not pushing down. I'm just wiggling through that. Getting this IT band outside. The abductors. The outside muscles. The muscles that move us away from the center of the body. That movement. I want you to think what that movement is, okay? It is lifting the leg up, getting out of the car, okay? So out and in, out and in, out and in, and come back in. Go ahead and just wiggle. Oh. So, I know some of you cannot get down off the chair very easily, but I want to do some cat-cow on our hands and knees today and show you how to access that. If you've had knee surgery lately, okay, we're not going to take our hips back and bend. We're going to keep our knees at a right angle. Pad up. I'll show you how to do that, okay? So I'm going to just turn. We're going to face, I'll face the wall. Okay, so if you're against a wall, fine, but you don't have to be, okay? So I'm going to just move my chair back a little. Take a blanket, and you can leave it there, or you can fold it an extra. Try to get all the wrinkles out of it. So I want you to see here what, okay? I want it back a little bit further. I'm going to actually put my shin with the knee right over. I need to be a little further back. Okay, and then plant your hands. Okay, and then it's the cat-cow. Inhale and exhale. These feet are, the toes are pushing in, but it's giving you a little bit. You're welcome to also turn the toes under. It will work the back of the foot. Okay. We do this in the chair all the time. If you possibly could get down on the floor, you get a better stretch here on the glute. The glutes, the hamstrings, the quadriceps are the hardest thing to find in a chair, okay? So if you're like, Debbie, I can't do that. There is no way I can do that. Then we're in our chair doing this, and I'll do that in just a minute. But if you can at all, get down on your hands and your knees. I see some of you in your gardens, you neighbors. Okay, I know that you can get down on your hands and your knees. This is fabulous work, okay? The inhale is here. I'm not just totally collapsing. I'm still tightening my waistline. The exhale is rounding. I'm tucking my chin and my tailbone. The thing that I can do here is when I tuck the tailbone and the chin, I get a better stretch than I can in the chair. Okay, for those of you that are in the chair, you are here. I'll turn to the side. It is here and round. Okay, I just know by what my body feels when I do this that it's more difficult to do this here. Okay, but it's totally doable. If you've just had surgery, okay, When we love on our body and we really recognize it as the gift that it is, then when we have accidents or things go wrong, we're okay with it. So if you're down on your knees, go ahead and get back up. Some of us, that exercise alone is the hardest thing to get up and down. So I would encourage, if getting down is doable, you can use a blanket under your knees, you can use pillows, okay? If you can do that, I would do it every night and every morning before you go to bed. Maybe if it's really hard to do on your knees, but you can kind of do it, you do one on your knees and you do other in the chair. Because this movement of our spine, okay, now we're going to add on our barrel roll. We know that one. It's going to go side to side. In fact, let's just go side to side for a minute. Lift a hip. Just let yourself go side to side. You can totally do this on your hands and your knees. So if you already got up, you can get back down because that's a great exercise in and of itself. But yeah, you can totally, if getting on the ground is doable for you, okay, you can totally do barrel rolls here. It's up and around, and there's just this range of motion and movement that is fabulous. Okay, so I'm moving side to side, up and down. This is the movement we lose as we age. Notice that I'm looking at the floor. I'm not letting my head hang. I'm not straining in my neck. It's just right here. I know you have to look up and say, am I doing it right? Now go ahead and just shift the hips side to side. Let me take it down so you can see. It's kind of like we're doing the hula on our knees. Okay, if you're in the chair, then the movement is here, forward, side, back. It's a little more awkward, but it's totally doable. Reverse it. So, reverse one more. And then pause. If you're on the floor, go ahead and come back to your seat. We will stand to do some wall work in a minute. Take some deep breaths. How does your body feel? If this is all the time you have in a day, what you've just done will be very beneficial. Our bodies are meant to move. Whether you believe in the chakra system or care about the energy or whatever, moving our bodies, okay? Let's add on our forward folds. Okay, so inhale the arms up, and again, if you need to, you're here. And just hinge. So notice the hinge at the hip, right? It keeps the back flat. Come back up, round. And inhale back up. The arms come up. There is a hinge. Hands on the thighs, round it back. And unroll it, okay? Inhale up. Exhale, hinge. Hands on the thighs, round it back. Inhale up. Inhale again. Exhale. If I'm just cueing the inhales, exhale, or the exhales, know that there's one in between. Inhale, there's one place. You just exhale, and then when you're ready, inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, take the hinge. On my inhale, I bring the hands down. And as I exhale, I want that exhale to pull that spine back as tight as I can. Inhale, I unwind, I take an exhale, and then I inhale again. Beautifully done. Let's add our twists, okay? We are going to do some twists on the wall. So inhale up, but you don't have to do it now. Exhale. Remember, the shoulder comes up and around on the back. Twist. Inhale back to center. Inhale up, twist the other direction. When you reach for that, the shoulder automatically rolls forward. Try to bend the elbow, pull the shoulder up and back. That's going to help kickstart your twist, right? and back to center. Inhale, exhale, twist, inhale, lengthen, exhale, release, inhale, exhale, shoulder on the back, twist, inhale, and exhale, release, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last one, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Notice we did more of those twists. Yeah, we did. Okay, let's warm up some of our feet. So we came up, we pushed down, where you put the block forward, put the foot, the ball of the foot on the block, and you're going to try to reach the heel. It's a stretch on the calf. This is, you can do this on the stairs, okay, if you don't have a block. Let me go sideways so you can see it. Notice that when you pull that knee down, I am still keeping the shin and the ankle right below the knee. It's a right angle, okay? Push down. You can lean forward. You're going to get a little bit more stretch. Go ahead and come up and then take it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. You're not pushing on your knees, but your hands can be on your thighs or not. Just learn to use that leg to push down. Yeah. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Beautifully done. Second side. Inhale, lift the foot, the heel. Exhale, push. Maybe a little further forward. Inhale up. So even for me, okay, it's not good for the knee to not use the muscle and to just hinge in this hip, okay? We're learning to use these lower leg muscles. Hands are inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Couple more. Inhale, exhale. We're doing a little bit more today. You'll notice. And exhale. Last one. And exhale. Beautifully done. Now, okay, we did these last week. We'll do them again. It's one of the very best things you can do for sciatic pain, that radiating pain down the outside that maybe goes down into your shin. Up and cross, okay? If you go and there's like no way, if you've got some hip things going on, then you're welcome to just put a block. It can be as low as you need to, but just opening, okay? Notice I'm putting my foot up, but I'm letting the knee go wide. That's the stretch that happens. In fact, bring it a little closer because I think you'll get a little more hip. So you can just bring it. If this is what feels good to you, fabulous. Notice that we're moving in and out with our breath. Finding that movement, that range of motion. And as we do some, what the body starts to do is it adapts, right? It's one of the best adaptive tools we have. It changes all the time. We may not see the change, but it's changing. And as we take the opportunity to move with our breath and move out and move in, then one of the things that we're creating is just this range of motion. And then you'll actually find that you can go a little further, okay? Let's do the other side. Out. Notice this leg. Yeah, it wants to move with it, but we're not letting it. We're just learning to have this sense of strength on our inner thighs and calves and foot. Now you might be one, I've got on this left hip a little click. I've had it ever since I can remember, okay? Most likely it's a nerve kind of flipping across the bone, a tendon doing the same thing. It could be some structural stuff with your hip socket. Don't move into pain, okay? So maybe you go to here and you go, oh, then you come back. And then you just go to that and you come back. And then you notice what starts to happen is the blood flow increases, right? And as the blood flow increases, then maybe you get a little bit extra range of motion, okay? So if your hips, that's it for them, then this is what you're doing again on this side. We're doing a second round, I know. If you can, maybe you can take and cross it over. This is a total different stretch. This is using psoas, but it also is stretching here. But we're, instead of moving up and back with this knee, we're gonna go forward. You'll feel a stretch there, and then you're gonna come back. Notice I'm not curling my spine, okay? As I go forward, I'm keeping it flat. As I come back, I'm keeping it flat. As I move forward, yeah. As I move back. So I'm really creating space in that hip socket. Forward and back. Now, I want you to add a forward, hands on the thighs, on the shin, either one. Round. Yeah, you're going to feel a stretch in the low back. You'll also feel a stretch right here, the top of the hip flexor. Inhale up. Here we go. Forward. Round. Come back up. Forward. Round. Come back up. Forward. Round. Come back up. Forward, round, come back up. Beautifully done, and release. So if you're on your block, I wanted to just show you, you're doing this motion. If you're here and you happen to be able to go, if that really hurts your hip, you're not doing it. So notice you can still do the same kind of movement, right? Try the second side. Cross it over. You don't have to have this very low, okay? You've got it supported here, okay? You also are not pushing down to get it low. When we force like that, we are not loving on these bodies. We're pushing the bodies into a place we think they should go, when maybe they don't, you know. Now that isn't to say we should never push ourselves, right? Inhale up. This hinge, maybe a ton of stretch back here. Round. Oh, we're not rounding yet. Just go forward and back and forward and back. Inhaling and exhaling. Maybe you inhale going back and exhale moving forward. You choose. In that, there's really no right and wrong. And then go ahead and add on. Inhale, round it back and up. Takes a little extra breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Oh, you're messing with my mind. Yeah. You're welcome to do an inhale, hold for the exhale. Inhale, hold for the exhale. Inhale, hold for the exhale. There's not a right and wrong. Okay, a couple more times. Inhale, hinging. Exhale, rounding back and coming all the way up, and release. Beautifully done. Just wiggle through those legs, stretch them out. We've worked those legs. Nicely done. Okay. Come on up. We're going to use the wall. You can use a chair. Plant hands, okay? Let the hands come down. They can be wider than your shoulder width. In fact, it's better for that to be. Come down to where maybe you feel like you're parallel to the mat, to the floor, okay? Bend those knees, reach those hips back, and then walk the feet in, okay? They're not all the way in. Hands, they're shoulder height. Little push-up. Nose comes down, push it back, walk it back, lengthen, bend those knees, stretch, inhale back up, pause, hands, little push-up, push into those hands, push that wall away, push as you lower down to resist lowering down. So just a lot of that kind of work. My elbows aren't out to the side, but they're not touching my waist. Okay, they're right here. So I'm lowering and pushing. Now, you have the option to come to here for the push-up. Notice I'm further away. If you want, you're pushing into those fingers. Each finger is pushing. Try to keep the shoulders from rolling forward. Keep them on the back. And then push it back. Come down, push it back, walk it back, stretch. It's a little bit more of a push-up, okay? Come all the way up. Hands right there. Push it down, push it back. Walk the hands back. Come for the stretch. Inhale, push, push. Exhale, down we come. Inhale. Notice my hands are going up and down on the wall. Back out, stretch. Now, if you're doing this on a chair because you need a little bit more support, okay, the push-up is going to be difficult to do, but it is doable, okay? So you can walk back, right? Stretch back. I'm even off the Instagram feed, and then you come back in, and as you walk in, watch this. You're far enough away from the wall that you could you're still pushing your hands. You're going to pull here and push back up. So you can totally do this way. Notice I'm still hinging at the hips. Okay, I'm not letting my head beat it down. I'm bending my elbows. I'm putting some weight on my hands so that I've got some movement in the shoulders, some strength building, okay? Fabulous work. We want to end with a few twists, and then we are going to go down onto the floor again, like we did last week. Okay, if you can't get on the floor, pillows and blankets, blocks will help, right? So let's do, I feel like we should do some twists, but I want you to grab a block and put it between your thighs so that you can squeeze it. If you let it, we've done this before, if you let it stick up a little higher, you can put the hands on it and you actually feel yourself grow taller. You actually will also feel yourself move a little bit forward. Go ahead and do that, and then pull back, not with your waistline collapsing, our couch sitting, not there, okay? But pulling back with our shoulders and the back of our head. It will require your spine to work, still hugging the block with your thighs, okay? So you choose. Hand across the block. You can keep your hand on your forearm. It helps me. This one goes behind. We've already done this shoulder work up and over. Twist and hold. Now, we're going to have a little in and out, but it isn't much. I feel like I need to do this to the side so you can see it, but it's just going to be an in and out, in and out. Out and in is probably in and out of the twist, okay? Let me turn to the side here, okay? The legs, right? The hands, this shoulder. It's going to be on the back of the chair. You can take it lower if you need to. You're going to twist and slightly release, and twist and slightly release, and twist and slightly release, and twist and slightly release. Then twist, yeah, coming in and out. We've got a few more. This is such great work for the core, for your spine. Notice that I'm not leaning forward to do this, okay? And I'm not rounding back to do this. I'm trying to sit and have my spine, one vertebrae on top of another. Couple more here. This is actually 15 right there. And then come back, second side. Okay, if you choose to go around to the other side, and inhale and exhale. Always moving with the breath. I don't always cue it. Inhale and exhale. Opening and closing. Twisting and untwisting. Twisting and not totally all the way, right? Finding that range of motion, working on these oblique muscles. They're the muscles that crisscross our body. One of the things we lose as we age is the ability to twist open and close. To twist open and close. 3 more. And we'll have done 15. Last one. Oh, beautifully done. Pause. Come back to where you're facing forward. You may not have changed. Let that breath be long and slow. Kind of feel and notice. Okay. So we'll first, we're going to do windshield wipers. We kind of have done those already with our twists and in and out, except that we didn't go all the way. This is the action. So I want to do something a little different. If you're in your chair and can't get onto the floor, okay, if you know windshield wipers, get down on the floor and start, okay? Your feet are close to your hips, but not really close. You know, they're just in line with your hips, and you're just opposite side, okay? If we're here, I felt like we could do something just a little bit different today, and instead of twisting our legs over side to side, we'll go all the way around with our body. We are going to let our hips go. Just come back like you're twisting to the back of the chair, but then look forward with your head. There's the twist. And then come back. I was kind of playing with this. Go ahead and look where you're going with your body, right? And come back. Whoa. And go back. And come here. Go ahead and here. Look. Come forward, staying in the twist. Look back. And come back in. It's a great stretch here. Open. Look back. Look the other way. And come back. One more each side. I held up 2 fingers. That was because we're doing both sides. And look back and come forward and twist. Reach, look back, reach, and come back. Beautifully done. Let's do a couple of spinal rolls. Tuck the chin. Just come as low as you can. Reach when we do this, we're letting our body. Try to bring, it might be belly hits first. It might be boobs hit first. See if you can come all the way. You might not like the hang of the knees, and you can leave your hands, or the hang here of the arms. Try to tuck your chin and let it hang. Notice how hard it is to breathe with your chest and your belly on your thighs. But there is so much room in our backs that we don't access. So that's kind of what we're doing. If you find, Deb, that's just so uncomfortable, grab a block. It's going to be even more uncomfortable. Come up, come over, okay? This gives me a tighter curl and doesn't make me go quite as low. So if that's a little bit easier to do. Round, tuck your chin, round your spine. You're going to feel as if everything is just relaxing, that your whole body is just melting over those thighs, over that block. At first, the breath might be really labored. Just try. Just kind of a deep inhale and an exhale. Maybe you kind of go, oh, Deb, I can't get that deep. Inhale. It's okay. Just practicing inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. And come all the way up. Back breathing is one of the best things we can do for our bodies. There's actually probably 60% of our lung capacity is in the back. And we often in the back don't have belly fat and stuff that is forward in front of us. So it is really good for our backs to breathe into the back. So find a way to do that, okay? If you've gotten down on the floor, it's time for Shavasana. I'll slide my chair back, okay? I would hope you'd use some props. You know to use this for your neck, okay? Your head rests here, your neck is here. I'm gonna come, my feet are gonna face you, okay? You're gonna put something under your knees. If you have a pillow, I love the pillow. I also love a block, okay? So I'm gonna show you both of those. And if you're getting down, and getting down is difficult, you come to your hands and your knees, and then you come to a side, and then you kind of get your head right on that blanket, and then you're gonna roll over. Can you even see my feet? I think you can. I'll move back a little. So the roll is right underneath the neck, and it's not big because the space, we just want that natural curve. You can have a blanket, or a block, where did I put it? There it is. Or a block underneath your knees will help your low back relax a little bit better. This is a little higher, but it's okay. And you might want both. Now, you might be, it's like, Debbie, I can't relax. If your back can't relax, put the block between the legs. The knees go wide, or the feet go wide and the knees knock. You can even do here, okay? If that's just feeling like, and you feel that back relax, that's what we're looking for. Go ahead and breathe deeply. You are letting everything move into the floor, letting your body get heavy. This is another quote, and I don't know the author of this one. Have the courage to make the choices we need to make. Accept what we cannot change, and have the wisdom to know the difference. There might be some things going on in your life that are not changeable. That's okay. There's still so much more going right than what is going wrong. Thanks for coming to wiggle with me this morning and to move. I'm going to leave you on your backs. If you have time, let yourself stay there a little bit longer. Shavasana is a fabulous tool. If lying on your back is really uncomfortable, I often do Shavasana from a seat. I'll sit here for a moment so that you can see what I do. I'll actually set it up. I'll put a block because it'll lift my hips a little higher. okay? I'll put a blanket because the walk sometimes is hard, and I don't like that on my sit bones. I love easy seat, easy pose, Sukhasana. I'm open in the hips. This is just a very comfortable place for me to sit. Instead of that lean forward that we were talking about at the first, that a beautiful teacher mentioned this morning, we lean back so that we're all up, so that the spine really is doing very little work here. There just isn't much going on. We close our eyes. If your hands feel awkward, I remember kind of going, where do I put my hands? I love to cup one in the other. I got slicky pants today, so maybe you put a blanket or a pillow. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with props and using. Find a moment today, maybe it's right now, to sit before your day begins. I understand busy stuff to do. So I wanted to kind of apologize for how quick I'm getting to you, not very fast in the mornings, because I go do my own workout and then come and get ready. So I'm going to remind you the night before. So Tuesday night, you'll get a reminder, okay? I'm going to work with YouTube. It says you can set it up to be live later, you know, you can set a date. But when I did that, I couldn't ever get it to turn on. So I just need to do some study. So I'll try and send out the link the night before. And then just wait to go live until 8 o'clock. I'll also send out a 7:30 text. If you want me to have your text reach out, your phone to text you, reach out. Yeah, you can just type it in the YouTube comments. Let the breath flow up and down the spine. Regardless of whether you're on your back or you've moved to a seat. If getting to this seat is really, really difficult, get back on your chair. As we honor where we're at right now, right today, this very moment, and move gently with our breath to that, our body starts shifting, adapting. And so does our spirit and our heart and our intent. We're kind of like, oh, this is okay. I'm in a good place. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. The divine, the goodness, the greatness, the light that is within me, I have all of those things, recognizes the divine, the goodness, the greatness, the light that's within you, because you have all of it as well. Have a wonderful day. I bow to your goodness. Namaste. See you later.